I would like to point out that, well, in the intro cutscene, you see Cress use a certain ability. Right here. He uses Tiger Teeth. At what? Level 2? 3? I would like to do that too, because Tiger Tooth is, well, Tiger Blade I guess, is something you can't use until what? I think level 19 or 24? Pretty much way later. I think that earlier would be quite fantastic actually, because it's one of the best straightforward abilities. Alright, I just wanted to point that out. Welcome ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing well. Discord announcement. Right. I should do that too. Give me one moment. I also didn't do the Twitter thing. Oops. I'll probably give it some more time. Thank you for the reminder, I appreciate that. So, either way, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well. I did what I was set out to do last time. I leveled up all the abilities to, well, maximum. Which really was not particularly big of a deal. It was actually surprisingly quick, like I don't think it even took an hour. I just ended up walking around and using up all the abilities that ended up being, well, required. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us take a look at all of those abilities that are now available to us, with Sign Kick, Mecha Blade, Sign Storm, Lion Lunge, Lion Claws, Lion Flare, Bolt Crash, Thor's Wrath, Tempest, Earth's Reach, Flare Talent, Burning Soul, Cinderhawk, Soul Forge, Soul Strike. And there's actually 3 missing. So, I did look up that where I need to go and grab those, so let's do that before we do anything else. So the first one, I need to go to a camp just west of the Tower of 12 Stars. If you remember, the Tower of 12 Stars is just after you go through the desert. Here from Olive Village, you go all the way around. And you could have actually gotten this in the past already, so this means this camper over here somewhere. Don't exactly know where. I think it's here actually. This one here is, well, since about 150 years. You don't look like an elf, so what is your secret? So you're a swordsman, eh? I can teach you a technique. Cress learned Magma Bolt. Alrighty. As mentioned, we could have had this one already in the past, which I found to be surprising that they didn't change it up at all. It's just there, the same place. Then the next one we can get in Freezer Kill for... I think that's Freezer Kill, not Ari? Yes, this is Freezer Kill. Next one we can get in Freezer Kill in the inn for about 30,000 gold. I thought I actually checked that, but apparently I didn't. So, where might this be? There is Carlton. Wasn't that you? Builds Endurance and practice in the snow. Basically, this is the Lion's Flare that I'm supposed to get here. I wonder whether this is... No, I do already have that. I mismarked that in that case. So we did get it, after all. Alrighty, that's perfectly fine. So, in that case, we are only missing one more ability. And that ability is Odin's Wrath, which sounds pretty fancy to me. I have no idea what it's going to be from. So, bought from a man in the southernmost oasis of Olive Village. Well, we were just in the desert, but it's really not that far. The southernmost oasis is right here. Hi, how are you doing? How would you like me to teach you a technique? Really? I'll sell this book I wrote on sword techniques for 40,000 gold. Alrighty, and we acquired Odin's Wrath. Brings to you Atheist and Chaos Kitty and Barbie XH. Welcome guys. Hope you guys are doing well so far. So, and now with this we should have all the techniques. So, I'm just going to demonstrate all of those one way or another. I feel like the best way I'll demonstrate those is right here. I could try to use those while we're walking through Dao's castle, just using them on enemies, but I feel like we may not get a good show on them. So either way, I need to use long-range techniques. So what I'm going to be doing here, I'm actually going to exchange Flarf for Archie. The reason why I'm doing this is because those are all long-range techniques, which means I need to be far enough away from the enemies. And just need to make sure that Archie does not actually cast any spells. Mint is just healing if necessary. And then we use our Scout Orb to get many encounters right now. Hey Lachlan, welcome to you as well. Thank you for the good luck. Well, alrighty. First of all, we take a look at Cyan Kick, which is just Cyan Bolt and Dual Kick, and Mecha Blade, Cyan Bolt and Tiger Thief, some of the earliest abilities. Cyan Kick is the earliest ability, I believe. Thank you for the host, Lachlan, I appreciate that. So, Cyan Kick. It unleashes Cyan Wave. And enemies are too close already. Let's get away from it. It unleashes Cyan Wave and then just does a double kick afterwards. So it's nothing too special. Then we have Mecha Blade, which is basically 2 Tiger Blades combined, which is actually pretty interesting. Let's see whether we can get a better area of enemies, because those enemies don't seem too much fun to be taking on for this kind of testing. But either way, this... what was it called? This Mecha Blade I actually kind of like. It's 2 Tiger Blades. It's pretty good actually. The only downside is that it's long range, so you can't use it short range. Next up we have Cyan Storm and Magma Bolt. So Cyan Storm consists of Cyan Bolt and Blade Storm, and Magma Bolt consists of Cyan Bolt and Magma Rift. So let's see what that's going to be about. Thank you for the host, Chaos Kitty. Appreciate that too. So, Cyan Storm. Basically, it's actually a long range... oh, I messed up. Essentially, Cyan Storm is a long range... what is it called? Blade Storm? Which, well, if we had that Saint's Rapier, that would be kind of decent. Alrighty, let's use Magma Bolt. Interesting, so Magma Bolt uses that Magma Rift at a range. Looks like it deals a lot of damage, but I'm not sure the damage is enhanced compared to Magma Rift. I'm actually curious. I'm actually going to try and see how much damage Magma Rift does right here. So let's see. Okay, it does the same damage, so nothing too spectacular. So, by the way, if a little side wave at the end was not there on that ability, I would actually prefer it over that, but, well, alas, it is a combination of Cyan Bolt and the other one. So, then we have Line Lunge and Line Claws. This is a combination of Line Heart and Dual Kick, and Line Heart and Blade Storm. I'm actually curious about those. I have not seen them yet. Line Lunge. That's pretty fancy if you ask me. And then we have Line Claws, which is just a Blade Storm. Ooh, a forward moving Blade Storm with probably a lion head attack afterwards. We might not be able to use that properly unless the enemy actually survives. Let's see. This is actually kind of neat. Also, I may want to try to use this against stronger enemies. Let's see. We need to go over to Airy at some point anyways. So maybe we can just go ahead and see whether there's some enemies that might actually survive the full combo. Although I kind of doubt that. Line Claws. Alright. Maybe that's all there is to it, quote-unquote. I mean, a forward-moving Blade Storm is actually really nice. Wow, alrighty. I like Line Claws actually quite a lot. I like Line Claws a lot. Line Lunge is interesting, but because it's based on dual kick, it's not that great. Line Claws, on the other hand, is probably my favorite of the techniques so far. Get a charm bottle. Interesting. Learn something new. They can randomly drop those things. So, let's replenish my TP. Speaking of TP, I will have to replenish my supplies sometime because we're kind of well, running low. But we don't need that many. Actually, the 15 miracle gummies I have are probably already sufficient with 11 gummies. Yeah, I don't need to really replenish anything. Okay. Line Claws, I'm a fan of actually. Let's see Line Flare and Bolt Crash. Line Flare is Line Heart and Magma Rift, and Bolt Crash is Lightning Bolt and Dual Kick. Twice the length of a normal Blaze Storm, yes. Plus it's moving up to the enemy, which is kind of a really big benefit actually. Line Flare, alrighty. Line Flare has a really slow startup, so on enemies like the ninjas here, this is kind of difficult to use. So it's basically just Magma Rift and Lion Fang combined. Nothing too terribly interesting. Alright, Bolt Crash is essentially just dual kick and basically a slightly better... I'm not sure I would call it a slightly better... I wanted to call it initially a slightly better... Lightning Bolt, because the attack of the Lightning Bolt usually doesn't deal any damage or doesn't even hit, and with dual kick instead of that basic attack, it might be slightly better, but that is questionable as well. Either way, nothing too terribly interesting or fancy. Let us continue with Thor's Wrath, Lightning Bolt and Tiger Teeth. Now that sounds really intriguing. Tempest, Lightning Bolt and Blade Storm. So, Thor's Wrath is basically Lightning Bolt and Tiger Blade at the same time. Which, that's not bad. It's just a long-range Tiger Blade plus Lightning Bolt. It's quite alright. Nothing too special. Let's see. Tempest. Tiger Blade and Lightning Bolt. Blade Storm and Lightning Bolt just combined. Which... well, it's not terrible. Better than previous techniques, but nothing in comparison to the previous Line Claws, I think it was. Let's see, Earth Reach and Flare Talon. Earth Reach is Lightning Bolt and Magma Rift, which that sounds interesting. And Phoenix is Dual Kick. Well, actually, Flare Talon is Phoenix and Dual Kick, that way around. You always fall asleep too soon. I know that problem watching some of the other videos and stuff. And yes, Atheist, if you find anything about that sensory privilege, I would be interested. All that I've found so far suggests that it's a fan translation error. That's not too terribly interesting. Basically, it's just a dual kick added after the Phoenix, which that's not too spectacular. Oh my goodness, don't teleport close to me, I'm going to one-shot you by accident. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's interesting anyways, because it might indicate a thing that can happen somewhere else. What are you doing? You're targeting the ninja, but the ninja teleported. Thank you. There is, however, a glitch that I... Alright. Well, that's not too bad. The downside is really that the startup of anything that uses Magma Rift in the combo is just too slow. It's just really too slow. So Magma Rift, unfortunately, I dare to say it's not all that great. Normal Magma Rift is way faster in the startup, which is curious. It feels like anyways. I'm not actually sure that's entirely true. Either way, there's one glitch that I know is supposed to work. And I've seen someone take a photo, a picture of the Japanese version on console from their TV, where Crest for some reason had like 244 strength at level 3 or something like that. Which I would be really interested in knowing how that works. Unfortunately, there is no other reports, at least to my knowledge, or any that I know. And I can't really search in Japanese because, well, I don't know Japanese. So there's that. But if anyone knows about those, I would be highly interested. Like a status glitch where Crest just has 255 strength at level 3 or so. Which might end up being a problem if, let's say, he gets an overflow in his status in strength and eventually deals 0 damage because of it. But we would need to look at that. Either way, let's see. Next we have Odin's Wrath and Burning Soul. So this is Phoenix and Tiger Teeth, and Phoenix and Bladestorm. My assumption is that it's basically just a Phoenix and then Bladestorm or, well, Tiger Blade. Nothing too spectacular. Dude, don't do that. Why is the ninjas immune to fire anyways? Oh, alright. This is actually kind of nice. This is double blade, Tiger Blade. Yeah, this is actually kind of nice. This is a double Tiger Blade. Also, I'm hoping to find some better enemies in here, maybe. This is a double Tiger Blade. On top of it actually having a really quick startup after the Phoenix hits, so I like this one. Hey Ghost Blackarm, welcome to you, and also Raycodactylus, welcome to you as well. Things are going quite fine, I hope you are doing well as well. Maybe Kashura could help me with that? Kashura really does not like reading or writing in Japanese. Speaking is way easier, apparently. So, while she technically could help me with that, I also feel like it would be a lot of research work that, well, currently at least she has other stuff to do. Don't necessarily want to occupy her with that. But yes, technically I guess. So let's look at that Tiger Blade Phoenix real quick again. Odin's Wrath it's called. What? Oh, the ninjas right here. That's weird. Oh, it's assassins rather than ninjas. I meant actually kill them, I think. Why do you have to keep bringing us ninjas? Come on. Seraphim, there we go. They're still immune to fire. Oh, they're not. Bam bam. That's really nice. I like that ability. Let's see Burning Soul. Okay, there's a problem with the Burning Soul. If it were to be moving forward with the Tiger Blade, the Bladestorm, it would be made more useful. But since it isn't, well, it kind of relies on enemies being in a corner or so. So, well, that's interesting. I didn't expect Odin's Wrath or Burning Soul to be useful. Burning Soul isn't really, but Odin's Wrath is surprisingly good. So, I like it. Let's see Cinderhawk, which is Phoenix and Magma Rift. And Soul Forge. The second to last technique, Soul Edge and Soul Wave. Everything is ninjas, it looks like it. So, unfortunately they are immune to fire, those commandos, but let's see whether I can get the thing. So this is basically just nothing special. It's literally just Phoenix and then an added Magma Rift. Nothing too terribly intriguing or interesting beyond that, I don't think. Could he please stop doing that? Also, I would like to point out that Mint, for some reason, does not get stunned. I have no idea why. Mint. Thank you for the cure. Mint does not get stunned. I wonder why that is. She probably has something equipped that makes her immune to getting stunned. Has been silenced, alrighty. By the way, Chester does not attack because I set him to be defending instead. I don't know whether he's just actually doing actively defending or whether he's just not doing anything. Either way, I need to take care of those guys first. I wonder whether the silence ever wears off. Oh, it might have worn off now. Okay, let's see Cinderhawk. Oh no, come on! No! We can see you, Jacobanter, welcome. You love this game? It's really nice, I like it a lot. So, this time, come on, let me do the thing. Come on! Rude. Should run out of MP sometime. Yeah, alright, there's nothing too special about this. It's just the magma thing. Recover. So, Soulforge. I see. Soulforge is basically just a straight up combination of the soul ability, so to speak. So Teleport and Soul Wave is Soul Strike. Let's try to take another look at Soulforge though. So Soulforge and then we go for Soul Strike. That Magma Rift wind up is way too long? Yes, indeed. That's pretty neat actually, I like it. Oh, there's a Romai. I did not even realize they would spawn right here. Poor Archie. He does not have enough HP to survive most of those abilities. Wow, Soulforge really wrecks those guys. Nice. I'm not sure Chester will survive this. Oh, he survived it. Stop it. Oh, this is bad. Go away. Oh my goodness. Let's use an S flag. Oh, it only recovers half HP? Interesting. Let me through, guys! By the way, I think this guy's casting Meteor Storm, so it should... Crescent should survive it in theory. I just want to... Oh, insufficient TP, nice. Let's get Soul Strike. So Soul Strike is just teleport and then a... whatever soul attack it is called. I don't remember, to be honest. But that's okay. Stop it. Alrighty. And we get the random Darius emblem drop. Nice. By the way, I've never used an S flag before, but I felt like that was useful right there. So, alrighty. We are going to be setting our Scout Orb to be low encounter rate. Blue candle we can't use here, that's unfortunate. I still don't really know what it does. It doesn't seem to do anything, even though it said something. And let's see. My favorite abilities are basically... Was it this one? I think Odin's Wrath was Phoenix and then double Tiger Blade, which with a really quick startup, that was really nice actually. And then I think Lion Claws it was. Yeah, the forward moving lion blade, which was really nice. Alrighty, and Then in close combat I would like to use... Tiger Teeth for a quick follow-up. Alrighty, normally I would use Teleport, by the way, instead of anything else, but Teleport is kind of silly. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are now finally marching into Dao's lair, now fully. We need to equip the Darius emblems. Actually, conveniently enough, we just got one. So it's easy to find in my inventory. I'm going to exchange... you know what? I'm going to briefly exchange here. I kind of always want to have Mint in my party for healing and support, but I also feel like... While I really like having Chester in my party, Archie hasn't gotten much spotlight recently. So I'm just going to take Archie with me for now. And I'm going to allow her to cast literally everything. So whatever you choose is fine, I guess. Just so she can choose herself. And I'm going to do the same thing with Flarf minus Chameleon, because we don't want to accidentally softlock again. So whatever you feel like, just feel free to cast it. And that's that. Let us move across this thing and then equip our usual items again. So what do I want to have? A new Persian boots and for 30% less damage taken and battle rune, so you deal more damage. Mint, I would like to give... Let's give her the unicorn earring, mana earrings, and a fairy ring, so she can cast spells without investing much mana. You definitely need your amulet back. Where is it? Mystical Rune, it is called. And you, I think it would be good for you to have the fairy ring as well. So, that is our loadout. Let us move. We'll get into an encounter right around here. So, we once again need 5 people. That's why you can't just have one person move on all the way, because otherwise the speedrun would have a problem, quote unquote. Because the fastest way of doing this would be to just go without rescuing your allies. Orin's Wrath. He casts Origin, alrighty. And Archie likes using Death Cloud. Unfortunately, it did not work. I really like that ability. It really is just Bladestorm moving forward. Kinda curious. Tidal Wave. That FE golem has such a strong ability. Asuka! Does pretty good damage. You know what? We're going to move through this pretty quickly because I know exactly where to go through. So, I suggest we are... Where is it? There it is. I suggest we set the encounter rate to normal. That way we will be able to, well, encounter some more enemies and just see how much stronger we got over the course of, well, the journey. So let us move. So here, by the way, we cannot go through those red doors with the red thing in the middle. So we have to go over here, which actually leads us further, which is interesting. This is one of those things that I definitely will want to reroute, because I'm pretty sure the other way around, in speedrunning wise, is faster. This guy tried to backstab, but he didn't manage to quite do it. Origin, wrong guy. By the way, 4 assassins in the Hanzo. That's quite a setup. Those things can be incredibly strong by themselves already, each one of them. And then 4 of them? That sounds rather dangerous if you ask me. Maxwell, alright. Okay, one of those down. Hanzo and the assassins also look the exact same. I'm using Tiger Blade, by the way, close range because Fury Slash is usually too slow for these. Usually. And here's the Hanzo. Oh my goodness, Archie, why are you moving forward? Raise that placement. Thank you. Archie, what are you doing? Why are you moving forward? I guess if we have any Sage Leaf left, we may want to give those to Archie. She could definitely benefit from them. You never figured it out. What does food do? Food is pretty simple. It heals you every time you take a few steps. That's it. It doesn't do anything more special than that in this game here. Alrighty, let's see. Do we have any red sages or sage leaf? We have lavender. I want to actually test those out. How much more or less damage I'm going to do with those. So for example, a sushi grab bag, we can put the seafood into our food sack. Now we have 300 food on the bottom right. Every time we take a few steps, we will actually recover HP. But I think it's not particularly much. Like, having food in your bag is really not all that useful, generally speaking. Same with sirloin, we can just fill up our food bag with those items if we want to. Just not strong enough to make much of an impact, I dare to say. Although it would potentially be interesting to make a challenge where I cannot use any healing spells or items, I have to use the food bag for it. That'd be a thing sometime. Alrighty, food sack is full now. So, I don't think we have any more of those status enhancing. Oh, we do. There's a sage leaf. Okay, where's my rune bottles? 5 left only. Alright, fair enough. Okay, we give this to Archie, so she has a bit more maximum HP. Did I do all of Moria floors yet? Yes, we did do all Moria floors, and I know I did not collect all of the droppable items. We got some of them, but for the most part we didn't get too many. Since I actually ended up just kind of running for most encounters in Moria. Since the encounter rate was so insane, it felt like that will take ages if I don't. Meteor Storm. Pretty good, I'd have to say. Greetings to you, Don Matheson. Welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. So we do have the Excalibur right now equipped on Cress, which is pretty strong overall. I kind of wish we still had the Saint's Rape here, considering how much use I get out of my Bladestorm type ability right here. Because that was a really strong poking weapon. But hey, this is okay. Everything begins from the end. What this wants to tell us that there is a series of switches that we have to press the last one first and then go to the front again in order to open up a door that is just to the right of there. So let's use some flare bottles to do more damage to those guys. Indignation, does that actually hit the iron golems? It does not. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Those enemies are just brutal. So we have gotten significantly stronger, but our allies are still falling left and right sometimes. Light bottle. Here, mint. Raise dead. Which actually implies that they are actually dead and we raised him from the dead, if you think about it. But I feel like it's more like they didn't know what else to call that ability. So in here, we actually... No, that's the wrong one. Was it in here? I know one of those has an interesting chest in it. Ooh, that origin hit everybody. Nice, that meteor storm too, that's really good. The Komodo ambushes are almost as bad as the assassins. Yeah, they are pretty brutal. I can actually combat those to an extent if I were to put Chester back in my party, since he has the meteor plate equipped. Hey, the Hanzo died before the assassin. Interesting. Reverse stall and dragon stake. Alright, it's not here. So it has to be in this door here. So in the speedrun I used to grab this chest here, which contains another meteor plate armor. I mean, I guess I just told you what it is. It's the same armor that Chester has equipped that absorbs a lot of types of elementals. Because, well, it was a nice bit of safety, but I ended up never really needing it, so I cut it from my route. I really like those line claws, actually. They make good work of those Rome Knights. Are you not putting on the permanent holy bottle for a reason? Yes. Basically, this is not going to last particularly much longer, this playthrough here. Because I know exactly what to do and where to go in this dungeon here. I may take a little detour here and there, but for the most part I'm just going more or less straight for the end at this point. And I feel like just kind of seeing how strong and brutal the enemies in here can be is kind of a nice indicator. Plus, this dungeon is long enough that normally, when you play through this casually, you will run out of holy bottles before you get through the entirety of the dungeon. You might actually backtrack outside in order to get new holy bottles, but alternatively, you will get this many encounters as we are getting right now as well. Well, maybe not quite as many, because your luck stat might be slightly better than it is for me. My luck stack is atrocious. Oh, no, not anymore. It's better now. I don't know why it changed. Maybe after saving and reloading? Either way. Did I hit that switch? I hit that switch. Alright, so this is the last switch in the sequence. Then you hit this one in here. Levels, we are level 70, 63, 63 and 53. Archie has been sitting on the bench for the most part. There's nothing down here. I was just curious whether there might be an item down there. Either way, you usually will get into quite a few encounters in this dungeon here. It is definitely not without risk, and a lot of those enemies and encounters are actually quite substantial. You don't want to underestimate them at all. The levels affected luck. Oh, I guess that's possible. That's definitely possible. So what I know from Ruada, who started creating a TAS of this game and also looked quite substantially into a large portion of the code, every time a certain story or plot event happens and changes, you get your luck stat re-rolled. So I kind of assumed that means that we only get to reroll the luck stat in those instances, but maybe we triggered one of those kinds of events. So this is one more switch over here, then there's one more switch just to the right of here. And you can see, this is a pretty crazy encounter rate. Ripment. And those guys are definitely not playing around. Okay, now need to S-flag mint. Thank you for the heal, I appreciate that! I need to get away from this guy. Too late. So this is why I used the S-flag on mint, she would get revived quicker. I figured this would be really dangerous right here. This is really dangerous right here. Let's use a Chrono Glass actually. Yeah. Thank you, Mint. Oh my goodness! Are you serious? I'm going to die here. I don't have any more S-flags. No, don't do that! No, Mint! No, no, no! I'm going to use my last Chrono Glass here. Because I'm not going to survive this otherwise. I'm not going to survive this otherwise. No, 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 no! Miracle Gummy. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. Alright, I need to let them cast spells. Go away! Go away! Cast a spell, that's okay. Thank you for the heal. Alright, we are okay. We are fine. Ish. Go away. Ah! These things are a special type of broken. Yes. Yes. There's a reason why I wanted to actually fight enemies around here. They are really strong, and unless you are like level 99 with maxed out stats one way or another, those things are brutal. I lived! Thank you, Chaka Banter. So yeah, I need to be more careful about those things. I feel like I just want to play the range game on those. So, save. So, we used 3 Chrono Glasses on those. 1 of Roam Eye. Alrighty. Should be fine with 1 Roam Eye. In maxed out, they're still brutal. I don't know what the guy did that from which I got the Japanese cartridge that I got. But for some reason he didn't take any damage from pretty much anything when I played his game a little bit. It was pretty fascinating actually. Like, he literally didn't take any damage from those Roam Eyes. Oh, well, I guess he was not playing on hard mode, but still. I don't know what is in this room. You don't go normally in here. Mirror? That Where am I? By the way, I'd like to point out the amazing background in the battle scenes here. It's a bit dark to see, but I just really like how it looks. Did I ever use the combo command? Well, I tried it, but I feel like it could be really useful if you knew how to use it, but you would need to practice that a bunch. Oh! Wait. Can I go back through here? Wait, is that a shortcut you can take? Can he take that right away? Probably not, but I assume this is a shortcut back. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You are not much further walking over there, though. Let me actually see real quick. vgmaps.com, which by the way is an amazing website. Just look up, well, maps of all kinds of games. Plus, including a lot of treasure chests are also marked on those maps. It's really, really handy for routing and playing the game. Scout Orb, yes, I do have the Scout Orb. Let me actually see. Wait a second. This is not where I thought I was. Where is that? I'm so confused right now. No, this is where I thought I was. Kind of. No, this is exactly where I thought I was. Can't you just use that mirror right away? Hang on, guys. When did I last save? I'll want to try this afterwards, because I'm going to forget. This is interesting. Let's just complete our journey through the game here first, Weber. Afterwards I'm going to test a few things. I'm probably not going to highlight the things I'm going to test, but I want to see whether I can actually move through the mirror. If you can, I will, well, basically showcase it in the speedruns eventually. Saved out the startup cost, right, but I did just save right now here too. So this is no longer the latest save, so to speak. I do have 2 saves, so I think I should be able to check that out. You busted out your arcade stick when you got the comma command emulated when you first played this game. Nice. Yeah, a combo command I think could be really, really awesome. By the way, I do forget how you figure out how to go through here. But it's kind of neat. I don't want to use too many more flare bottles, but I feel like those iron golems are worth using flare bottles. Ooh, that Seraphim is apparently light element. Bam. I'm really liking that. When I started playing this game, I said that I didn't think Bladestorm was all that useful. Well, I take that back. Maybe it is useful after all. As in, let's put it this way, it's a lot stronger than I gave it credit for, anyways. But you need to get specific and good weapon for it to be starting to be worthwhile, I feel like. Angels tend to be light element. I guess Seraphim is that type of angel. That makes sense. I mean, it kind of is interesting. They have both light and heavy element in the same group of their party. So they are kind of opposing elements, right? So here we have a savory, an elixir, hourglass, sage, magic pouch, and a lavender. I actually do in the speedrun pick up those hourglasses too, which is a thing. I really wish I had more rune bottles. Going to use it on the sage, just so I can boost Archie's HP a bit further. And let me actually see real quick. I know which way to go, as I mentioned before, but I'm just curious whether there might be interesting things in, well, on the places where I don't want to go. So, alright, this room on the right here is empty. At least I think it's empty. Oh, no. Hang on. Might not be empty. Let's actually go to the right here first. It is empty. Curious. So a different mirror actually leads to there. At least in theory. Oh well. Oh, I see. Alrighty, alrighty. Alrighty. In this case, I'm actually going to briefly activate the orb, just kind of to explore and show something on the side that is not part of the main path through the castle. Well, at least not if you try to go straight through. Teleport's pretty much the strongest close range ability. For damage output, Gale Shield is the strongest close range ability, but Teleport is really good too. And I don't think spamming one art is wasteful. It works really well, especially with Teleport. Alrighty, so let's equip or activate the orb real quick. Cloud Orb. Because we are going to the right side here. This is not the way to go. In fact, we cannot go back through here because this is a red door. There's a chest over here. It actually doesn't describe what is... Oh, no, there's a switch here. Oh, that's how... I see. Okay. So, that switch activated the thing on the right here. On the far right, now there is a mirror that we can use. And this chest here just contains elven boots. I actually didn't know what the chest contained, I was just curious. Oh. What a troll, hang on. That switch you don't want to press. Because that makes the mirror on the right disappear. What a troll. Because, oh, you see lever. Oh, I need to push it or pull it. No, no, don't do that here. Okay. Teleport hits behind as well as front. Yeah, the thing is, Gale Shield has just a super slow startup, so most of the time it's not particularly useful. Teleport close range is really strong regardless, because it has a really quick startup thanks to the little particles hitting everything. Teleport close range is probably, on average, better ability than Gale Shield. It's not the most damaging, but it's way better. Efficiency-wise, you probably want to spam Fury Slashes for damage. Gale Shield, while individual attacks are stronger of it, Fury Slash you can just use quicker and more often. Now there's a mirror here. Now this leads us back into this room that was empty. I was so confused for a second as to why the map described something being there. Alrighty, so basically don't go to the right side. You don't need Elven Boots at this point anymore. I don't remember what's on the right side, but we're just going through here. There's not really a whole lot aside from, haha, you went the wrong way, you're now going back home. Or, well, just take another loop through the castle. So, alrighty. This answers that question. I was wondering whether there was actually any encounters in this room. There are. Hey, nobody, Sergeant. Enjoy your lurking. And Thank you for dropping by. Hope you have a pleasant day, sir. It's so weird. All this really is a moving forward ranged Bladestorm ability, yet it's actually really good. It doesn't do much special, really. Also, I would like to redirect your attention to the background. More there's emblems. Because those backgrounds keep getting more and more interesting. Because, as you might be able to tell, we are somewhere on a floating castle in the air. Oh, reminds me. We're somewhere on the floating castle in the air. And the higher we go, the lighter it gets. Kind of a neat little detail. I actually still regret accidentally overriding that save file that Japanese cartridge had on it originally. Hey Endless Tundra, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Those Seraphims just get destroyed, holy cow. We get a battle rune for that. Well, we already have one. It's getting brighter. It's now purple instead of just blue. Gorgons. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from the tidal wave. You know what? Clarf has not used his new summon in a while, and I'm not going to get to see that one anytime soon. Gremlin and Asuka are the new summons that I don't usually get to see because you don't get those in the speedrun, so I would like to see them some more. If I do manual, Crest does not run back. Actually, the Super Nintendo version does not have that option. The PlayStation remake does have that option that you can set to fully manual. But the best you can do in the Super Nintendo version is semi-automatic. Actually, yeah, basically it's the equivalent of semi-automatic. There is nothing else you can set it to in the Super Nintendo version. God breath. Interesting. But yes, there's no such option in the Super Nintendo version. This is the very first Tales games, and they did not really do that. All you can do is set targeting to manual, which basically just does not change target unless you manually change target by pressing the Y. And there's no other options aside from that. So, no, not in this game. But in other Tales games, yes. Which is way nicer if your character doesn't automatically just run back. I just like looking at this. It's way nicer because I can interrupt the running back of my character in this game here too. Did you just petrify me? You did. You can interrupt the running back of your character in this game too, but it is very limited. Thank you, Mint. I already recovered. This is actually rather dangerous. I need to set Crest to be far front so my allies don't move up. you, Archie. So if you play the Game Boy Advance version, PlayStation version, or any of the later Tales games really, they do have fully manual controls. In the PlayStation version, you actually need a special item as an accessory in order to be able to manually run in battle. Otherwise, you actually cannot even set it to manual. As in, you need I think it's called a tech ring or something like that. It takes up an accessory slot. Otherwise, you can actually not manually run in battle in that game. It's kind of awkward, honestly. You know what? I'm not going to use those sabers otherwise anyway, so just going this to Cress. He's using up most of the TP. Miracle Gummy. Getting brighter. Closer to the sun, basically. Where are you even trying to attack? Tidal Wave is a really nice ability, even in a speedrun, because it's so fast. I'm actually currently contemplating putting it back into my route, because getting Tidal Wave is pretty quick. But on average you don't need it, but it might make it more consistent to run through Odin's Tower. Alright, the next room does not have any encounters. This one does. Some of those room eyes are nice, but others are quite a menace. Alrighty, this room here does not contain any encounters whatsoever. And we're higher up. And we have reached the final staircase, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to use a flare bottle on this encounter here. I really want to get those Romai out of the way. I'm pretty sure the flare bottle runs out during the meteor storm animation. Let's see. Yep, it did run out. I don't even know what Clark says exactly. Something like Gremlin? How am I going to do the speedrun for charity? For RPG Limit Break, that is one aspect of it, which makes it actually really nice to just kind of have a different type of reasoning to go for that speedrun. So yes, for RPG Limit Break, but at the same time, I also speedrun for fun. This is bad. Hey Vorpal, thank you for the good luck. Basically, generally speaking, I like doing speedruns of games that I just like playing, because that gives me a reason to play the game again and again and again for, well, speedrunning purposes. Okay, one Romai down. Alrighty, we are fine now. Probably. By the way, Archie still has that dark robe equipped that we got in the Elven village, and that just absorbs various elements. It's actually really good on that. Thank you for the human. Alrighty. May I get into one more encounter, but ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the final save of the game. There is nothing more left after this one. So let us restock, replenish everything, and prepare for the final battle. And I would like to have Chester in my party. So Archie, I think she had her spotlight at this point. So here's a weird thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to put Cress in the second spot, Chester in the first. And put everybody a bit further back now. As far back as we can be anyways. Well, it's not entirely true. I could use the glitch to go even further back by using Archie's auto positioning and stuff. But... well... we are crazy high level, by the way, for my standards anyways. Oh, convenient. Alrighty, Amarak decides to just freeze the frame for now. Let me just reload this. Better now than afterwards. Okay, let's go. You ask me, this looks pretty fancy. How far up is our, well, floating castle now? Is that an illusion, or are we actually in space? This is it, dolls. You've got nowhere to run this time. Look, I've quite a bit of respect for your accomplishments in making it this far. You've proven worthy adversaries. I'm going to make you pay for all the suffering you've caused for our planet. Wait! Mint, stay away from him. Perhaps she has come to her senses and has come to beg for her life. Dolls, I want to ask you a question. Many centuries ago, you told us you had no quarrel with us. I don't understand your reasoning. Because you're not harming this planet's supply of mana. If anything, I should thank you for healing the Tree of Life. Why is mana so important to you? Because magic drains this planet's supply of mana. And I need that mana. Mana? For yourself? I don't follow. Are you trying to preserve this planet's natural state? To protect this planet that I hate so much? You must be joking. I'm only here to collect mana. Then you're trying to rule this world using mana's power? You foolish boy. Have I not made it clear that this planet and everything on it does not interest me in the least? I need the mana to create a mana seed. Mana seed? I don't care what your goal is. Thousands of people died because of you, and that we can never forgive. Ha! You're one to talk. I hope you're ready for me. Alrighty, welcome to the final iteration of Taos here. This guy is a real monster. So remember how I had those little demons in front of me just kind of to help me out, not have Taos attack me as quickly? Well, in the second battle against him, we didn't have those either, but he had really low HP. Now he has, I think, 65,000 HP or something like that. And he is a pretty tough cookie. So Mint, I would like for you to use barrier. Press. So, kind of like before, he can only be hurt by magic for the remainder of the time for now. I'm going to be using Chameleon. I think that does more damage. Any damage I deal, as you can see, with Cress immediately gets healed up. Actually, I don't know whether Chameleon gets healed up too. But essentially, my goal right now is to just keep him away with Cress. I did not need to do that. Oh, that was Chameleon? I didn't mean to use Gremlin. Uh-oh. He tried to petrify me, but it didn't work. Also, my armor that absorbs all forms of magic is actually pretty amazing right now. I normally get completely destroyed by his various abilities. In hindsight, maybe I should have used Archie here after all. Because Archie would be able to damage him. But once he reaches a certain HP threshold, he will no longer recover the damage I deal through physical attacks. The reason why I have Chester in front is because I want him to actually attack. Speaking of which, Chester, go attack please. I kind of forgot to actually tell you two that you're allowed to attack. So let's see real quick, Spylance. He has 36,000 HP left. I believe once he drops below 30,000, he will only heal half of the physical damage that is dealt to him. Wow, that ability is amazing to keep the dolls at bay right now, by the way. Plus the sword that allows me to have a really high hit chance on top of... Yeah, that's really crazy good actually. The sword that has really high hit chance on top of having a ranged Blade Storm that just keeps interrupting him. He is barely able to do anything. Wow. So he actually can petrify me with physical attacks. He has really quick physical attacks. And I want to just demonstrate what he can do, because he completely destroys you very often. When you're close enough to him, very often he does a little jump backwards. Oh, it's already over. Alrighty. Goodbye, dolls. It's over, dolls. You've lost. You think that the death of this body means anything to me? You're so narrow-minded. I will never die! The floor is gone. Enough. The time has come! Mother Gaia, Father Chaos, give me strength. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Neo Dolls. Acid Rain should reduce our defense. So this is Neo Dolls. Rip. Chester. And while he's in his blue form, you cannot hurt him. And he just goes back into his blue form. So I'm going to put you two up front, whereas I want to have the others far back. Those little energy balls deal a good amount of damage. I'm just going to be tanking here for Chester, preferably. And he immediately goes back in his blue form. He's really difficult to hit. So there's a glitch you can do to make his AI completely useless, essentially. Rip Chester. By using an hourglass in his blue form, you just go behind him. and he has literally nothing planned or no AI script as to what he wants to do if you are behind him. And, well, we can't hit him right now. And Balthazar, thank you so much for 25 arms. Welcome back, my friend, for a long time already. Well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much, Balthazar. So, I don't actually know how his fight works anymore, aside from, well, very dangerous to go anywhere close to him. I think I basically can just time gremlin attacks and spells to try and deal with him this way. Let me actually put Chester further back. So, the tricky thing is actually to be able to hit him. Oh, Ray. Ha! I hit him for 70 damage. And this even heals me, so my armor completely protects me from everything that is not physical, it looks like. And those thingies are physical. Asuka, hit him! Nice. Except for the bottom part, still does not get hit. So... I'm trying to hit his bottom portion here, because his hand actually uses those little energy balls. If I manage to get rid of his arm, by the way, he does stuff to entities. If I manage to get rid of his arm, it will be significantly easier. And that's that. This guy, thank you Mint, I'm already like, this guy is quite the monster. Because it's so hard to hit him during those attacks, like you just need to anticipate him coming out of it, but it's completely random. Wow. This guy is a monster. I'm going to just spam Gremlin here, maybe eventually we will hit him. Thank you, Mint. Oh my god, are you serious? That's just not fair, he bumps me into him. And then he smacks me with his hand. No, finally got a gremlin hit in. How much damage did it deal? I'd like to see how much damage it deals. 3000, alright, that's pretty substantial, I dare to say. Give an orange gel to Cloth. Great to see you, Corona Cat, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to go back here, regroup. So, let's see. One of my best shots might be putting Chester up front and just trying to have him not get destroyed. Could you please stop that? I wonder whether he ever runs out of TP. Let's see. Silence. Chester's going to die on the second hit. Well, he does not run out of TP, he doesn't even use any. Ooh. Thank you, Mint. This guy is quite a tough cookie. Actually, Acid Rain might be cast by the arm as well. The last ray doesn't seem to cost TP. I'm trying to not have Mint and Clarf on screen for when he uses abilities, that way they should not get hit by it. Although Chester will get hit by this. What I want Chester to do is shoot from this distance, and he should eventually be able to hit him, well, once in a while anyways. Mint so OP, yeah, Mint just keeps you alive. Pretty crazy. Let's actually take a look at his arm with his Spylens. Well, it does run out of TP eventually. Also, I'm just going to stand in front of Chester. Because I don't want him to get hit by those little bullet projectiles. And he goes away before I can hit him. I'm not sure what to do against this guy, honestly. It's straightforward anyways. Like, I know how to cheese him, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't do that right now. I have a plan now. As soon as he becomes vulnerable again, and he immediately runs back. Rude. I don't want to get pushed into his arm the entire time. That's pretty unhealthy. Let's use a mixed gummy on Clark. Elixir? Oh, right, I do have elixirs now. Didn't sell them for once. Big Gohan? A hammer probably doesn't work, but that's an interesting idea. Let's use Hammerhead. Oh! Clarf hit. Well done, Clarf. You just don't want to be close to those guys. Okay, Miracle Gummy and Cress. I basically have to anticipate when he is vulnerable again. Wow, that doesn't even do damage. I should not use that ability. But the problem is standing close to him. He just does that, and I don't get my attacks off at all. There, I got one attack off. And then I get destroyed by his close range abilities. Or by his shotgun ability, I guess. Welcome back, Blessed Dragoon. If only that were to hit. By the way, you can accidentally get slit right behind him if you wanted to do that. If I can only get rid of his arm, that would be incredibly helpful already. Let's see, what would be a good ability for getting rid of his arm? At long range, more or less, just kind of using stuff that is not the Blade Storm. He has really high defense. Maybe I can use Acid Rain on him. I don't know whether he has an AI change in hard mode or not. I did not mean to run forward. Thank you for the heal. Chester's I'm hit sprite is hilarious. It's really good, I do agree. Crassus is really good too. I need to wait a little bit. No, let's try Acid Rain right now. Oh, just slightly too early. No. Oh. Win, please. You just remember spamming teleport in this fight. Teleport is a really good ability for this, honestly. Mainly because I can't really hit him. Let's see, did that work? Nope, failed. Alright. But the timing was good. So maybe I just want to rely on Clark trying to... Actually, Clark, do not use your ability on your own anymore. I want to time them myself. Bam. Gremlin. Too late. Yeah, Gale's shield is amazing, and exactly, Atheist, that is the speedrun strategy too. Basically, if you stand behind him, he just does not know what to do. He has no AI script planned at all, and that trivializes him. But that's actually exactly what I don't want to do for now. Wow, that is just slightly too early. He will technically eventually run out of Acid Rain spell casts. And we can almost survive indefinitely thanks to Min's heal. Why could I not select Clark's ability earlier? Not sure, let's try. Thank you, Mint. It's a little bit overkill, but I appreciate it. Okay, let me try to be in close range again. You got a bit farther away, buddy. So right now I'm behind him. He has no idea what to do against Crest specifically. He actually attacked Chester in that case, right there. So if I just stayed to the right side and waited until everybody else dies, I would have been perfectly fine to win that battle right there. The thing is, this guy is just kind of super cheap overall. Thank you for the heal, man. Ah, the last raid just hit when Clark was about to unleash the thing. Don't attack. Oh, I can't see anything again. Hammerite, please. Can use an hourglass? Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We can use an hourglass here. There's nothing that states I shouldn't use an hourglass in this fight. Well, I shouldn't use the hourglass for what I usually use it in speedrun, that is getting behind him, but why not use an hourglass right here? This is a good point, actually. I like it. I like that idea. So what I would like Mint to do is you actually use Valkyrie on Cress. This increases my attack strength. Then I'm going to use an hourglass. No, no Mint! You're going to waste my hourglass time during this. Going to use another hourglass immediately. Mint, don't do anything. Alrighty, arm is down. Now we can hit him. Finally. Also he starts using, holy cow, that does a lot of damage right there. Starts using other abilities. I'm actually curious what else he can do. Try it. Ouch. Oh my goodness, he's really fast. Chaos. It's going to kill Chester. And he poisoned me on top of it. Wow. Poison doesn't even do much. But it just had to poison me. Oh, hang on. Mint, you can heal again. I was wondering, Mint, why you're not healing? Because I told you not to. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mint. Ow. Last ray. Oh, that's unfortunate. Mint does not get her heal spell through. Going to separate Cress from the group again. That's so much damage. 4,000. One of a few elements I'm not immune against, I guess. Oh, also Mint needs... You know what? We're giving Mint one of the few elixirs. So this is how an elixir looks like. Basically just a few triangles move to the character. We have not really used... We have never used an elixir in battle before. Does he just heal himself? He just healed himself. Don't do that, buddy. Resurrection. You cannot swap abilities mid-combat in Tales of Phantasia for the Super Nintendo. I think you can do that in later Tales games, but not in this one. So I can only use the abilities I have equipped. Which one of them is Tiger Teeth, which probably would be a good choice right here. Rude. Going to give an apple gummy to Mint. But the hourglass suggestion was really good. So I feel like you really want to keep an hourglass, or more specifically chronoglass or two, for taking care of the arm. Unless you want to... There we go. Unless you want to cheese him. Ladies and gentlemen, Neodas has been defeated. Indeed. This was indeed the final battle. Fun fact, there's a additional form and version in the PlayStation version. There is not in the Super Nintendo, so this was indeed the finale. It's really over. It's almost hard to believe. Oh, will it ever really be over? Daos. Bye. Death. Inevitable now. So please listen to what I have to say. Why did we have to fight? What do you mean? I never wanted it like this. Please believe me. I can't believe Dals was fighting to save his planet. From a perspective, he was the hero and we were the villains. Now that he's gone, we've sentenced his whole planet, his whole world to death. Yes, but we didn't go around slaughtering innocent people in order to accomplish our goals. Do I make myself clear? Dals needs the energy of mana to create a mana seed of his own to take back to his own planet. He knew that a mana seed can't be created by force. When the cannon was fired in Midgard, Dals feared that our tree would be drained. If he allowed that to happen, he never would have gotten the seed he needed. The human race can survive without magic. Perhaps Dals people couldn't. That threat may have been enough to make him willing to kill. So, now what? We should do our best to protect the tree. Well, I'm going to give this a try. Please step back. I'll place a barrier over the tree to prevent it from being hurt again. Now, the tree has a future. You've given a gift to the entire world, Mint. For all those who sacrificed. Barrier. No, I think there's an underlying theme here, where Da's motivation will become more clear. Our job here is done. But I'm going to outline that a bit later. Eternal Sword, return us to my rightful time. So, we return back to the present. Clarf, take the Eternal Sword. Please keep it safe. Yes, I give you my word. It will be safe. Take care, Clarf. Everyone, I won't say goodbye, cause I'll see you all again. I just can't believe I have to wait 100 years to do it. Oh, Archie. Unfortunately, I'll be long dead by this time. I won't ever see you again. Clarf, don't say that. Oh, don't get sentimental. We should be celebrating the fact that we got to spend any time together at all. Chester, Mint, take care. Let's go, Archie. Jester, you can't just let her go like this. Okay, okay. Come on, don't look so sad. Can't you show me a smile? Okay, I'll see you soon. You bet. Hey Archie. I love you. Eternal Blade, I beseech you, take us to our rightful time. This ending is so bittersweet. Now she finally gets, well, to be reunited with her mother. Well, she's the strongest sorcerer in the entire world. I don't think anyone is going to stop her now. God of Earth, God of Heaven, God of Gods, ease my guilty heart. Create a mana seed out of our beings. Well, at last I'll succeeded to an extent, thanks to Martel's sacrifice too. Alrighty, that was the entire story, more or less. I would like to point out that this is the regular ending music. If you hold the L and R buttons, you actually get different ending music. It's kind of neat. So, let me explain real quick. Earlier in chat we had the, well, point that why did Daos even start killing? Like, he knew he couldn't create it by force, why would he do that? And there's basically kind of an overarching theme and story going on that I don't think is ever specifically explained. So essentially, from what I pieced together, is that Daos initially tried to ask Midgard to stop their research, to stop using Magitech, because otherwise Mana would never be able to, well, create a Mana seed that he could use to get sent back home. So I'm not sure where I picked it up. I think it might be the PlayStation version or something like that. He did initially try to negotiate that Midgard should just stop, and, well, they didn't listen. If you remember, there was a quick scene where the, well, military leader of Midgard was talking with one of the scientists who asked him as to why did you not just listen to us? Why don't we cease our operations? He would not attack us. And, well, he basically was just too stubborn or, well, too proud in order to cease operation on those Magitech. And that's kind of, you can read a lot of those things between the lines. So the gist of it is, Daos in the end, just, he didn't see any other option as to, instead he needed to destroy the Magitech. And as I pointed out before already, he actually ended up destroying Midgard somewhere in the past. We don't know exactly when that was, but Midgard, if you go to that place in the future, it is no longer there. It is completely its ruins, and you cannot even enter the city. And it's also pointed out, I'm not entirely sure when anymore, that this is the reason why the Mana Tree is still alive in the present and the future. So sure, Mint healed it in order for it to be able to recover, but it could not actually be alive again if they kept using this much mana in their Magitech technology. So this also coincides as to with what the elves were kind of shunning the humans as to how could they and why do you have to be so selfish? Remember, Archie's mother was taken away from her back into Ymir Forest. All the pure elves were more or less dragged by their hair back into their home village, because the humans are despicable beings and can't even listen. Since the elves are so much more attuned with nature, I kind of assume that they know about Dao's true intentions. We just never asked them about it, did we? Well, or maybe at least they have a better idea about it, thanks to Martel. Either way, yeah. So, what are you guys going to do now? First, we got to rebuild Totus. Maybe then... Then what? We'll go visit Archie. Can I go too? Of course. It just wouldn't be the same without you. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the more I played this game, the more I learned about the story and thought about the story. Generally speaking, my favorite character of the entire game is actually Clarf. He raises to be a leader, and it's not quite as well elaborated as it is in the PlayStation version. He is pretty shunned, or kind of laughed at by other researchers and scientists, because he as a human wants to cast spells and cast magic. Haha, that's so ridiculous. And it's just like, well, at the same time, he did research, and he is the only human that in centuries, literally I think, managed to get attuned enough to be able to form summoning pacts. I think his tattoos that you get to know about in at least the PlayStation version, some of the spirits actually make a comment about, yeah, you actually look like you're very well adjusted. Fine, I'll give you our contract. And, well, I do definitely think he is my favorite character. Over the course of the game, he starts being that, well, annoyed guy who just doesn't necessarily want to go on a journey, but then just at some point starts taking over a leadership role. I feel like he goes through the most interesting character development. So there's that. I feel like I pointed out mostly what I wanted to say about what Dahl's original intention was, what was his original approach, and as to why the elves decided to split up. And I would say because Midgard did not exist in the future anymore, that is why the elves decided to start making efforts to be, well, letting humans back into the Ymir forest and, well, work with them again, rather than just kind of condemn their entire race. So yeah, there's that. Did I miss anything? Did you would like to ask anything? Would you like to add anything? So a lot of the storytelling I do that is not necessarily just in game or exposed in game is a lot of it is interpretation, a lot of it is just kind of from memory that may not be correct, because a lot of things I just don't remember properly, so I might not be entirely right with everything there, but, well, that I'm always open to corrections or additional thoughts about things. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, this was Tales of Phantasia. We did more or less all the side content, minus just going all the way in the Colosseum and bothering to level up characters to 99 and getting all the weapons and stuff. I think that is sufficiently much for me personally anyways. So, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for lurking, thank you for being awesome, thank you for being around. If you would like to see more of that content, I do have a Twitter, I do have a Discord, I do have a Twitch, I do have a YouTube, and, well, usually all of those get regularly updated. Thank you very much. Seems like the best case scenario was that Dahl's meddling in something he had no business in, that wouldn't have heavily impacted anyone negatively if he stayed out of it. Not sure. I have a Twitch indeed.